What's up YouTube? It's the one and only Division 18 and welcome back to another video. So this video right here is gonna be a rough one. The Denver Broncos. It's been a rough season for us, and this was definitely unexpected after the 3-1 start to the season and entering the early bye week. But fast forward 6 weeks into the NFL season to right now, and the Denver Broncos make the first real coaching change from any team around the league. I mean, Mike McCoy got fired before even Ben McAdoo or John Fox. The Denver Broncos have simply just been a shell of themselves this season, and at this point, it would be delusional to think that this one firing of an offensive coordinator will fix the Denver Broncos' problems long term. No team has ever started off 3-7 and made the playoffs, and at this point, this is actually a lost season. But how did this even happen? How did this 6-game losing streak this season even happen? If you guys do end up enjoying this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL videos like this one throughout this NFL season. So let's take it back to the start of the losing streak, which is now the longest losing streak the Denver Broncos have had since 1990, where the Denver Broncos were handed double-digit loss to the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs, were destroyed by the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles physically and emotionally, and were handed their first shutout loss to the Los Angeles Chargers in 25 years. It's been disgraceful for the Denver Broncos this season. And while the quarterback and offensive line problems are big, they're not the only problems. So let's break it down a little bit. The running game. With stats that can particularly lie sometimes, in the month of September, the Denver Broncos were dominating their teams on the ground compared to the month of October. While the rushing attempts stayed relatively the same, the rushing yards per game went down, as well as CJ Anderson's and Jamal Charles' touches, due to Devontae Booker coming back from injury. And while the Denver Broncos were averaging 35 rushing attempts in the games they went 3-1, since the bye week, that's dropped to a depressing 21 attempts in the 6-game losing streak. Emmanuel Sanders was injured for the 3 games out of the 6, and instead of Demaryius Thomas and Benny Fowler stepping up to take on more of the offensive load, they've decided to become even more lazier, and both are now in top 15th in the NFL in drop passes, with Demaryius Thomas dropping 4 and Benny Fowler dropping 3, which also doesn't take into account the lack of effort on offensive plays. The Denver Broncos special teams unit is ranked last in the league, in a ranking that I didn't even know existed. And if there's a way for the special teams unit to score or just make something happen, the Denver Broncos defense or special teams unit has done it. They've given up a blocked punt, a blocked field goal, a blocked extra point, gave up a kick return and a punt return for touchdowns, and most of all, the Denver Broncos lead the league in muffed punts this season with 5, which adds to the Denver Broncos' 23 total turnovers as a team this season, which is second to only the Cleveland Browns. And while statistically, the Denver Broncos defense is still a top 5 defense in the league, individual players have been picked on week in and week out. The middle of the field is always open due to the inability of our linebackers and safeties to cover the best of the best tight ends. And the no-fly zone that includes Chris Harris, Bradley Roby, and Aqib Talib have already given up 9 passing touchdowns on the season, compared to the 6 given up last season as a whole. As a defense, we've given up 22 total passing touchdowns to our opponents, which is the worst in the NFL, and have given up an average of 30.8 points in our 6-game losing streak. It's even to a point where the best pass rusher in the league in Von Miller is forced to drop back on coverage on an average of 6 times in the 6-game losing streak, and that should just never be the case. And while these are big problems, none compares to the quarterback problems that the Denver Broncos are facing right now. Trevor Simeon started off the season strong behind a healthy offensive line and a great running game. It seems as if the Denver Broncos found some equilibrium in the first 4 games with the passing game and the running game. But after the bye week, it seems as if something switched in the former offensive coordinator Mike McCoy's head. Trevor Simeon started having to throw the ball more, which led to 6 interceptions in the 3-game losing streak after the bye when he started, and that was enough of that. Enter in Brock Osweiler, who just wasn't any better, seeing how in his 3 starts, he's already thrown 4 interceptions to his 3 touchdowns in blowout losses, and combined, the two have an average of 219 passing yards per game, a 12-14 touchdown to interception ratio, and a 70.3 QBR. At this point, it's either time to start Paxton Lynch and see what he's got, or get ready for the Kirk Cousins or Tyrod Taylor sweepstakes going into next season, because at this point, this season is lost. If you guys did end up enjoying this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL videos like this one. It's easy to just put the blame on one guy, at this point the quarterback, but this is a team thing. And unless some serious changes happen to the Denver Broncos mindset, expect more of the same throughout this season. I honestly don't know if the Denver Broncos are going to make the move to Paxton Lynch this season. I would love to, because it's obvious that Brock Osweiler and Trevor Simeon aren't in the future, so we might as well see what Paxton Lynch has. Leave your comments down below on if the Broncos season is lost, and to all my Broncos fans out there, what do you want from the rest of this season? If you guys do end up subscribing, then make sure to hit the bell icon next to my name to be notified every time I post a fire NFL video. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning into today's video, and I'm out of here. Peace!